Yeah. I like to welcome everybody to my podcast, baby. I am your gracious host, Jupiter 9. In today's illustrious show, we're going to talk about Vlad TV, man. Vlad TV. Is Vlad TV a culture vulture? Is Vlad TV a culture vulture? And this is my opinion, and I'm going to say yes. And the reason why I say yes is that he is benefiting from our pain. He is making millions from our story. He is making millions from our demise of the youth. Like every person that, does an interview on Vlad TV either goes to jail or they end up no longer being here. And it's just a recent story. Just a recent story with BTB Savage. Now, I never heard of this guy. Know what I'm saying? I got a little tiny bit of what he was about. And I just got to say this to the youth, man. Like, you guys are going to get enough of this foolishness that you do on this internet to get clout and to get views and to be seen, like, disrespecting the dead and disrespecting people's moms and all that, and doing all this crazy stuff. There's a certain level of respect we had back in the day. Even if you was one of those cats that ran in the streets, like, it was still certain things you didn't do, like, you know what I'm saying? But you guys don't have respect for nobody, you know what I mean? You don't have respect for the living, you don't have respect for the dead, you don't even have respect for yourself. And you guys are out here doing this foolish stuff, you know what I'm saying? Thinking that it's not gonna be no consequences or repercussions for the things that you do. And BT Savage was another one. Before he went on Vlad TV, you know what I'm saying? He didn't do that nonsense that he did after he was on the show. He went did the interview. Now, mind you, a smart person wouldn't even brought up the whole situation where he took actually it wasn't even him, it was his girlfriend, you know what I'm saying? From what I hear from him, he was tussling with the guy who had a gun. I guess the guy wanted to rob him, and he was tussling with the guy, and he was doing everything in his power to not be shot by this guy who had the gun. Well, his girl ended up somehow getting the gun, I think, how the story went, and she's actually one who shot and killed this guy. But for you to go BTB Savage, for you to go on a big platform like Vlad TV, who has 5.8 million subscribers, you know what I'm saying, and even bring this story up, that you shouldn't even brought up. Me personally, I wouldn't even talked about it. Now, first of all, I wouldn't even go on Vlad TV. That's number one. I would never go on Vlad TV. I believe Vlad is the police. I believe he works with the police. I believe that he is somehow connected with the police. Now, a lot of people are starting to smarten up when they go on Vlad TV. When Vlad TV first started getting popping, people just go out and go on Vlad TV. I don't know what it is about Vlad, but for some reason people feel the need to go on Vlad TV and tell all their business. Like AR Ab, who was another one, was on the internet, the guy from Philly who was connected with Cassidy. AR Ab, another one. Now, you doing dirt in the streets, but you gotta tell everybody what you doing in the streets, and you gotta let everybody know that you the man in Philly, and you gotta let everybody know what kind of packs you moving. Like, what part of the game is this where you just tell on yourself? Now, me personally, I never dabbed around in the streets, never sold any packs, I never did no gang stuff. I was a 9-to-5 guy. I said I'd rather work me a job, you know what I'm saying, to be messing around in them streets. Like, I never felt victim to the street life, you know what I'm saying? Because there's only two ways out of that. the street life. There's only two ways out of that. There's no happy ending when it comes to the streets. You know what I'm saying? I've seen too many of my friends back home in Buffalo that are no longer here, or they're in jail, you know what I mean, messing around in the streets. There's two roads. You either going to jail or you're going to end up in the cemetery. That's the only options for your life. And you see the stories with Jay-Z and guys who were in the streets but then turned their life around through music. But those type of stories rarely happen, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's one in a million or one in a billion that will happen for your life. You know what I mean? That don't happen often. That's rare. You know what I'm saying? Because even if you thought about, getting into the music industry, it's so music industry is so saturated with the same old goofy nonsense that it's just, you're not gonna make a real living off of it anymore. Not unless you're pretending to be this street guy. Now this guy, BTB Savage, wasn't even a street guy. You know what I'm saying? But he's doing drill music. This guy was in the military a year ago. You know what I'm saying? He come from a good home and all that. But this guy served 4 years in the military. So, this whole want to be tough, that's some goofy stuff, man. Like, that stuff is played out and old, and I can't believe people still falling for this stuff and believing that these artists are really what they say they are in this music. A lot of it is fugazi. Man. Like, you know what I'm saying? A lot of it is just some. They think this is the way to get wealth. You know what I'm saying? And our youth need to change their mindset. Entertainment is not the only way you can make money. Like, this frustrates me because we got too many entertainers, man. Let's just keep it all the way funky. We got way too many entertainers. We got way too many rappers. We got way too many actors. Where are all the thinkers at? Where are all the inventors? Where are all the lawyers? Where are all the police officers who should be patrolling our communities? Where are all the judges? So-called black judges. Where are all the black judges at? You know what I'm saying? Where are all the politicians, black politicians? You know what I mean? Where are all the black mayors? Where are the, you know what I'm saying, positions of importance? Being an athlete is not a position of importance. Being the owner of the team is a position of importance. You know what I'm saying? Where are the so-called black owners in the NFL? It's just we want to continue to be the worker. You know what I mean? And the crazy thing about this is that all of these artists who are losing their life, from King Von to BTB Savage, I mean, there's so many I can't even count. Like, back in the day when a rapper passed away, that was rare. You might have got, you know what I'm saying, one or two rappers who passed away a year back in the day, 80s. You know what I'm saying? That foolishness started coming in when NWA came in. See, NWA neutralized everything in hip hop, and they put and these big record companies put big money behind NWA. See, before NWA, you had the thinking movement, you had the Pan-African movement. You know what I mean? You had Public Enemy, you had KRS-One, Boogie Down Productions. You know what I'm saying? You had all these acts that were putting out, putting out knowledge, you know what I'm saying, instead of crap. You know what I mean? And then, when Public Enemy came out with Fight the Power, you know what I'm saying, Fight the powers to be, then they had to neutralize that. These corporations had to neutralize that with an act that went against what rappers were preaching back in the day, which was knowledge. You know what I'm saying? About being educated and having some respect for yourself. That's what hip hop was about back in the day. It was about the dancing, the graffiti, and getting fresh and all that. You know what I'm saying? But and back in the day, the DJ was the most important element of hip hop. It wasn't even the MC. You know what I'm saying? So first of all, they had to eliminate the DJ out of hip hop. That was the first step of destroying hip hop. They had to eliminate the DJ. You know what I'm saying? Because the DJ was the focal point of a group or of an MC. Like if you didn't have a DJ that was on top of his game, as far as like being a DJ, then you wouldn't really recognize as being dope. You know what I'm saying? So you had to have a DJ. But once they neutralized the DJ and made the DJ irrelevant, and you know what I'm saying? And then they came in with the whole NWA movement, the ends with attitude, all that crap. You know what I'm saying? Once they neutralized the movement that was coming from, you know what I'm saying, Big Daddy Kane and KRS One and acts like King's Son and all those cats, like, you know what I'm saying, that was kicking that knowledge. You see, you had acts like Intelligent Hoodlum, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So they came with NWA, and that was the beginning of the end of hip hop. And hip hop, once NWA became famous and solidified, and people started gravitating to that frequency of music, low frequency of music, then it was over with. You know what I'm saying? It was over with. Then after NWA, then you started getting acts like Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? The street stuff. You got nothing but the street stuff after that. They were sprinkling cats like Nas and, you know what I mean, here and there. But for the most part, you know what I'm saying, they had to destroy that movement of knowledge being brought to the table through the music. You know what I mean? Because before, people were rocking, they had the African medallions back in the day. You know what I'm saying? People used to read all the time back in the day because, cats like KRS One was talking about reading and getting knowledge, and, you know where I'm going with it. You know how it was back in the day. Football people came up in the 80s and all that. They know the vibe. So, they had to neutralize that. So, over the course of time, added acts like Tupac, who, in my opinion, yes, he was a good artist, but he caused confusion. Because one minute he was about knowledge, next minute he was about, causing havoc amongst his brother, just confusion. You know what I'm saying? You didn't know what direction Tupac was going to go in from day to day. You didn't know if he was going to be the thug, or you didn't know if he was going to be the revolutionary. You didn't know he was going to be Dear Mama. Like, you didn't know what. And, I don't want to say too much about Tupac because a lot of people are very connected to Tupac, but a lot of people weren't even around when Tupac was doing this thing. I was around. I seen it from the beginning to the end. You know what I'm saying? And then again, Tupac started messing around in the streets, wanting to be a blood and all that. You know what I'm saying? And where did that get him? What was his ultimate demise? Ended up in a drive-by shooting, ended up losing his life. And that's what the street stuff gets you. There's no happy ending. Again, the ending, having happy endings like Jay-Z's, you know what I'm saying? How many Jay-Z's do you see out there that dabbled in the street and, made it out like Jay through music, through hip hop? I'm just strictly talking about hip hop music. You might have 3 or 4 out of all those people who wanted to be like Jay-Z, dabbled in the streets. You know what I'm saying? E-Money Bags was another. He was a real street dude doing real street, you know what I'm saying? But, dabbled in the streets. You live by the gun, you die by the gun. You know what I'm saying? Or is it you live by the sword, you die by the sword? It's one of them. So, that's another cat that was pretty dope, man. I thought it was dope. It had a unique sound to his voice. E-Money Bags, man. I didn't think his lyrics were that good, but I think if he would have lived over time, he would have been good, better. He would have got better over time, Just like with Sheik Luch. Sheik Luch was like the worst out of the group for years. You know what I'm saying? Now you can say Sheik Luch is very respectable in his lyrics now. He put in that work. But again, with BTB Savage, you know what I'm saying? Again, this is a good kid. You know what I'm saying? He did 4 years in the military, trying to put on this persona of being a drill rapper, being a street dude, when he was none of that. You know what I'm saying? He was none of that. And this what kills me for the life of me, man. It's that you got all these young cats talking about these street and this and that. And I was a person never dabbled in the streets and none of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Never messed with the streets, never been in a gang, never did sold drugs, none of that. Right? But you got these young cats coming in talking about they street this and street that, and they don't seem to have the IQ to decipher if they're in a particular place or a situation that is a good place. They think it is a good place to be. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, they don't have like a very what's the word I'm looking for? They don't check their surroundings. Like, you know what I'm saying? They don't have that street like radar. Like, I'm not from the street, but I grew up on the east side of Buffalo, so there's certain things I know how to move. Like, that's what I'm trying to say. I know how to move. I know how to be cautious of my surroundings. You know what I'm saying? I know that, when I'm walking, you know what I mean, to look behind me like constantly look behind me and making sure nobody's walking in back of me. You know what I'm saying? And I know that when I'm walking on the sidewalk, don't walk with the traffic, walk against the traffic. So if somebody try to pull up on you and snatch you up, you can see the car coming from a mile away. Now, if you're walking with traffic, you know what I'm saying, you won't be able to see somebody pull up on you and try to pull up to either shoot you or to snatch you up and pull you in their vehicle. Like, I just know certain things. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just know how to move. And I didn't make it to being 45 moving like being stupid. And the youth today don't seem to have that. Even the ones that even mess around in the streets don't seem to have that keen sense to know where to be and where not to be, and don't go here. Like, you know what I'm saying? If a situation is starting to look like awkward, if you in a restaurant and things just don't feel, they don't seem to have that keen sense. Like, if things don't seem to be right, to get up and leave, or you know what I'm saying, man. The stuff they be doing, I'd be like, why'd you even go there? Know what I mean? If you got beef on that side of town, you don't go to that side of town. It's just that simple. But dudes be bold, man. This youth be bold, you know what I mean? Be talking crazy about a person on another side of town, and will go up in all the stores and restaurants and sit there and chill. You know what I mean? And act like everything is just cool. Like, nothing's gonna happen to them. Like, they're made out of titanium. What do you call that metal? That ricochets bullets, titanium, or whatever. But again, these kids, man, you kids need to stop being so disrespectful. You gotta have respect for the dead. You gotta have respect for adults. You gotta have respect. You know what I'm saying? It's just something that just should be already taught to you, and it's not. You know what I mean? And I just don't get it. But Vlad TV, man, it's a dangerous platform. It's a dangerous platform. I wouldn't want no part of an interview with Vlad TV. I don't care if that would boost my record sales 50%, hell, 100%. I don't care if it would boost my merch to $1 million. Like, I would never step foot on Vlad TV ever. And Benny Siegel was recently on Vlad TV, and Beanie even had to check him, like Vlad asking all. See, Vlad be asking these police questions like he's a detective, and to a certain point he's right, because people will ask him like, "Are you the police or something like that?" He's like, "No, why you ask that?" And he's like, "Because of the questions you ask and this, that, and the third, and like every time somebody come on here, they get locked up, or they end up dead, or they go into jail, or you know what I'm saying." And he'll be like, he'll defend it and say, "Well, it's not my fault that the questions I asked, they answer it. It's up to them to answer if they want to answer or not," which is true. That's a fact. You know what I'm saying? He just got a slick way of getting people to open up. You know what I mean? And just, but you gotta, and that too. Artists don't have the what is it called that they used to have for artists for when they are trained in media. I forgot what it's called, but artists used to get media training. Back in the day, on the proper way how to answer questions. If a question becomes too tough, artists used to be trained in media training, so when they go to interviews, they'll know how to properly answer without putting themselves in a situation where it could be detrimental to their career. You don't get none of that now. You know what I mean? You just getting cats who, are getting popping on the internet, and they're getting a bunch of views on YouTube or whatever, and then the record companies are seeing that, and they're seeing a opportunity to make some money off them, and just snatching them up, giving them some crumbs on the front end, and and when they pass away, these record companies are collecting on their death benefits that they have on these artists. You know what I'm saying? A lot of corporations do that. A lot of record companies do that now. They have life insurance on these artists. So if you pass away, not only they're gonna make money off your record going crazy, you know what I'm saying, because you're no longer here. So people want to buy up all your last little bit of material that you made. They have also they'll also make money off your death as well, because they have a life insurance on you. You know what I mean? They have a life insurance on you. So it's a win-win for the record companies. You know what I'm saying? You're worth more dead than alive. You know what I mean? And they're gonna get your masters and all that. You know what I'm saying? So it don't pay to be signed to a record label. You know what I mean? I don't understand why a lot of these young kids go to a record label. You don't need to go to a record label. You don't. All they're gonna do is exploit you and box you into a creative, put your creative thoughts and creative mind into a box, and make a cookie cutter formula for you. They think is going to win. You know what I'm saying? You won't be the artist that you really want to be, for real. You won't be somebody that's different. That too. A lot of entertainers don't want to be different. They all want to do the same thing. If you see one BTB Savage, there'll be another one popping up in 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Right after his passing, it'll be another one in 2 or 3 weeks. Another BTB Savage, the third probably. So there's no creative. Nothing's creative. Everything is the same. That used to be a golden rule in hip hop. Like, you couldn't bite somebody's style. That was a huge golden rule in hip hop. You could not bite somebody's style. If you did, you were gonna get checked for it. You know what I'm saying? And that's the style now, is to copy whatever somebody's doing. You know what I mean? And it's corny. I don't know. I feel bad for the youth that listen to this music, because they don't have nothing to reminisce to. R&B is dead. You know what I'm saying? Hip hop is dead. And what songs you gonna like? Oh man, like that used to be the jam back in the day. R&B. I'm so glad I came up in the time I did. I'm glad I did not come up in this era, man, where R&B sucks, hip hop sucks. Now, if you want to find real hip hop, you have to go underground. There's some cats still doing it. You know what I mean? But it's so far in between. You know what I'm saying? On the mainstream level, it's crap. It's crap. Auto tune, like everything is auto tune. Everybody's talking about the same thing. Nothing has no meaning in it. You know what I mean? Nobody's making music about love anymore. Nobody's making music about being married and joining and and building a family. All that stuff has been weaved out and destroyed, and it's just sad, man. It's sad. It's sad where we at in music and entertainment. It's sad where we at today in music and entertainment. Movies too, same thing. Everybody copies the same blueprint. They either copy the same blueprint that's going on now, or they just remake something that happened back in the '80s. You know what I'm saying? Remake it, mess the movie up. You know what I mean? And it's just no creativity no more in entertainment. That's why I say we don't need no more entertainers. We don't need no more rappers. We don't need no more R&B singers. No more entertainers. We don't need no more basketball players. We don't need no more football players. You know what I'm saying? We don't need no more of that. Those are employees. We need some owners. We need owners of the basketball team. Hell, start your own league. We need owners of the NFL. Or start your own league. We need owners of baseball. You know what I'm saying? We need owners of the record companies and the distribution companies and all that. We don't need no more entertainers, man. Everybody want to be entertainers and rappers. It's corny. It's corny. Where's the balance? Again, I talk about this all the time. You have to have balance in everything in life. Music, you have to have a balance. We always had crappy music. Now that's not like front, like the golden era of hip hop and the music and R&B didn't have trash music. It had trash music, but it was so little of it. You know what I'm saying? That the non-trash music outweighed the trash music. You know what I'm saying? Even in hip hop, you had corny acts back in the day. 80s and 90s, you had corny acts that people didn't really like, but it was so much great musical content coming out of the 80s and 90s that it over succeeded the crappy acts. So being that it was so much good content coming out of hip hop, they never really got radio play like that, because that's not what people wanted back in the day. Know what I mean? People didn't just listen to anything back in the day. You know what I'm saying? You had to please the people. Styles P said something. I'm trying to think what he said. He said back in the day we used to make music. We used to make music for the not for the radio. We used to make music for the hip hop heads or something like that. Something to that effect. I don't want you to quote me for each and everything he said, but he said, back in the 90s, late 90s or whatever, we made music for the hip hop heads. We didn't really care about radio play, and he said that a lot of artists thought that way. You know what I mean? So now he said it's ours more concerned is about radio play rather than the people who listen to true hip hop. You know what I'm saying? So they cater to that, the radio stations and all that, and getting YouTube views, whatever is popping. They got 1 million YouTube views. That's what they want to do, But again, something needs to be done in hip hop. You know what I'm saying? You got this drill music, which is the worst thing that was ever invented. You know what I'm saying? That came out of hip hop. I don't call it. It's not hip hop. It's a fraction. It's a piece of the branch of hip hop. But drill music, that needs to be banned. You know what I'm saying? I know the mayor of New York City tried to ban it. I mean, that's a joke, because not one man just has power to ban something. You know what I'm saying? Not when you got, so record companies got a lot of money behind a lot of this music. You know what I'm saying? Like drill music. And it's the same blueprint they've been doing since NWA. They put tons of money behind the negative acts, you know what I'm saying, to keep the people off balance. to keep the people in a savage type of vibration. That's why you got acts coming out with BTB with names like BTP Savage, and what's the other one? 38 Savage or whatever his name is. Everything is savage, savage, savage. Now, when you're dealing with the word savage, that's dealing with the low root chakras. You know what I mean? That's a low vibrating word, savage. That's animalistic. You know what I mean? You're vibrating from an animalistic aspect. So that's why they put so much money behind these young kids who coming up with this negative music because of the low frequency of the music. It won't keep you in a state of higher consciousness. It won't keep you in a state of knowledge, higher consciousness. They don't want you to elevate mentally. So it keeps you in the mind state of an animal, a savage, a beast. That's why these words are so popular today. Savage, beast. You know what I'm saying? He was a beast on the court. He was a beast in that football game. You see what I'm saying? Low vibrating. So I say he was. When you see that king on the court, see how different that sound when you say king over beast. So you know these corporations know what they're doing, and so far they're succeeding. They're making money off these young kids losing their life. These young kids have no clue that they're counting on you. They counting on something to happen to you. They want something to happen to you. This is not them being in a financial partnership with you or none of that. You know what I'm saying? These record companies are in it to make money, period. And they got to put a life insurance on you, and you know you meet your demise talking all that foolishness on the record and on YouTube and all that, and then you know your life is lost. It's no loss to them because they made money off of you, and then they will make some more money off of you over your record sales because your record sales are going to go through the roof once you're no longer here. So it's just a game of monopoly with these record companies, man. You know what I'm saying? And Vlad is a culture vulture. He's part of it. You know what I'm saying? He makes money off the artists that go on his platform, and when they meet their demise, he reposts their content if they pass away. Who does that? Who does that other than a capitalist or a culture vulture? I believe that's disrespectful right there. You know, somebody pass away and then you know, their content could be a year or two old, and then somebody pass away and then you repost their content the same day or the day after. So he's a culture vulture, yeah. But the reason why he's a culture vulture and he's worth millions is because you support him. You continue to go on his platform. You continue to, you know, be interviewed by him. You continue to give him content where he can continue to make money off of you. And it's your fault. Entertainers, it's your fault. You know what I'm saying? If we were back in the day, he would have been shut down. You know what I mean? He would have been shut down. And Vlad, he's a trip, man. You know what I'm saying? He made those comments about Fakkakhan not too long ago. You know what I'm saying? All people wanted him to do was apologize, and he couldn't even apologize. Like, he was too big to apologize. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a fan of Fakkakhan, not like that. You know what I mean? But you know, what's right is right. Like, he got his facts wrong. A lot of times Vlad be getting his facts wrong about people, and you know, he make it seem like it's factual, you know, but he be getting his facts wrong all the time on his platform. You know what I'm saying? I stopped watching Vlad TV, man. You know, only time I'll catch a Vlad TV is like people will start talking about it because somebody just, you know, who went on his platform and they're no longer here after they go on his platform, and that happens a lot. A lot of people that went on Vlad TV, Dolph, another one, Gangsta Boo, what was that other cat that was real dope from Dallas? I can't remember his name. Man. But a lot of cats are no longer here that mess around with Vlad going on his platform. Vlad platform has bad energy, man. It's bad energy, man. I would not step front on Vlad TV ever. I don't care if he said, listen, man, you come on my platform, I'm going to give you $10 million if you come on my platform. I'm like, no, thank you. You keep that. I mean, I know what your platform is about. You know what I'm saying? If you're giving me 10, I'm quite sure you're going to try to make 20 off of it. You know what I mean? Nah, man. Vlad TV is bad news, man. Like I said, I stopped watching Vlad going on 2 years. 2.5 years. Like, some stuff I just don't support. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't support Nike and I don't support Adidas. You know what I mean? I wear New Balances, I wear Pumas, Filas. You know what I'm saying? There's plenty of brands out there that I can buy that look good on my feet, and you know, that's it. But nah, man, you young kids gotta smarten up and move a lot smarter. You know what I'm saying? You guys are wilding, and it's sad for this guy to no longer be here. But I see it as he antagonized the whole situation for him not to be here, because in the interview he didn't even have to talk about this situation. I wouldn't have. You know what I mean? I wouldn't have said nothing about that situation. Once it was over with, it was over with. And see, the person that passed away, you know, who unfortunately passed away in that situation, his family probably let it slide, you know, being the fact that BTB Savage never talked about it until he got on Vlad. And once he started talking about it like he was some tough guy, you know what I'm saying? And then he, right after Vlad, he took the pictures of supposedly the guy's blood on the ground. He's standing in and then he's holding money. It's just like, why are you doing that? For what? What is the reason to do that and disrespect someone who's no longer here? Like, you know what I'm saying? No respect, man. No respect. I just don't get it. This youth is some wrong, a lot of them. I don't get it. I mean, I don't get on the stuff they do just for clout on the internet. And what is that going to do for you? You know what I mean? What is that going to do for you? Now he's not here. You know, a mother don't like have a son. He passed away so young. He didn't have an opportunity to find a wife, have kids. Like, it's just sad, man. Another youth gone. Another possible, you know, millionaire gone, billionaire that could have changed the world once he found himself truly. You know what I mean? Just sad, man. Another young person gone for no reason. For no reason at all. But that's all I had to say on that situation, Vlad TV, BTP Savage. But that's my take, guys. Thank you for tuning in to this podcast. Please share this with everybody to help our podcast grow. That's my take. I am your gracious host, Jupiter 9, and I just want to say peace and love to everybody. Take care. One.